The sky was never supposed to give anything back, yet something started falling. Just objects that shouldn't exist.
Witnesses in Colombia observed the object gliding with purpose until it struck high-voltage power lines and dropped to the ground.
These are the strangest things that dropped from above, and no one knows why. A dashcam clip from Thailand caught people off guard, but nobody got scared more than the driver who actually filmed it. Something huge suddenly dropped out of the sky and missed the car in front by inches. The object looked almost round, not sharp like a rock. Skeptics said it had to be debris, but there weren't any mountains nearby for it to fall from. This thing literally came straight down from the sky. Others believed it was a UFO that lost control and crashed onto the road. No official explanation ever came out, and that silence only made things feel weirder. Like, what were they hiding? River wreck. A group flying in a helicopter over a river near Vancouver saw something they couldn't explain. In the water below them was a strange, damaged object that looked metallic and broken. It didn't resemble a boat or plane wreckage. Some believed it was a UFO that had crashed into the river after a fight or malfunction. The idea that the military would just leave something like that in plain sight didn't make sense either. If it were human tech, it would have been gone instantly. So, what was it doing just sitting there? And if it really crashed, what took it down? Falling streak. A man driving through the area said he saw something fall out of the sky. By the time he grabbed his camera, the object had already hit the ground. But what he did film was wild. A long, dark streak of smoke cut through the sky and trailed down into the hills. You could even see smoke rising from the impact point, though there were no flames. He swore the object looked like it was on fire as it fell.
Something fell out of the sky and f***ing landed and is causing a fire.
But the video only showed that thick trail. Some said it was a meteor fragment. Others thought it was military testing, and of course, some wondered if it was something else entirely. Fish rain. At first, people thought it was a trick, then the road in front of them thrashed with life. In 2017, residents of Salvador in India left stunned as thousands of fish were seen on the streets after a heavy downpour. Years later, in 2024, Iran recorded a similar scene of fish falling with storm rains, wriggling on the ground. Experts explain this with waterspouts overseas, spinning up fish and sending them inland until the wind drops and they fall back to earth. Still, the view of fish raining from the sky stirred old stories. To some, it was a sign of fortune. But for others, a warning from ancient texts that strange rains would come when people ignore moral deeds. Whether a rare weather loop or a warning, fish rains are one of those moments where nature and belief collide. Ice bricks. This was one of the strangest things people have ever witnessed. It started as a normal day, then suddenly blocks of ice and even fish started falling from the sky. Not little pieces either. These looked like frozen bricks. People ran for cover, and somehow no one got hurt. Some said it was a sign of the end times. Others explained it as a freak natural event, where rain froze at high altitudes and clumped together into massive hail. But even with that explanation, it didn't feel normal. You couldn't blame anyone for thinking the world was glitching that day. Beach abduction. This might be the strangest video I've seen all day. A guy walking along the beach at dusk filmed a glowing orb descend near someone standing by the water. The light moved across the surface of the sea, then stopped in front of the person, and that's when things got wild. The orb lifted the man off the ground, like completely off the ground. It shot straight up into the sky with him in it and vanished. Watching it felt wrong, like witnessing something you weren't meant to see. If that wasn't an abduction, what was it? Pyramid beam. There have always been rumors about pyramids being connected to aliens, and this clip just made that theory louder. A tourist was filming near the pyramids at dusk when a bright beam of light descended from the sky. It slowly touched the top of the pyramid and lit the whole peak up. Some people said it was a rare natural phenomenon. Others didn't buy that for a second. They thought it looked like something controlled, like a craft locking onto a target. Maybe it was refueling. Maybe it was scanning. Either way, it didn't feel random at all. Boggosphere. You've probably heard of those mysterious orb UFOs that occasionally zip across the sky. Well, rumor has it, scientists may have finally gotten their hands on one. And there's footage to back it up. An orb was seen descending to the ground, and within moments, a team of scientists rushed to the spot where it landed. They've started calling it the boggosphere.
On June 20th, 2025, acclaimed investigative journalist Jaime Maussan convened a major press conference in Mexico City to present initial scientific findings surrounding the object now known as the boggosphere.
Cold to the touch, etched with strange markings. This thing is unlike anything they've handled before. So, is this long-standing mystery just clever human engineering? Or could it be something far more otherworldly? Falling fireball. In November 2025, a Japanese resident filmed something extraordinary streaking down from the sky. A glowing fireball fell rapidly, lighting up brightly and leaving a smoky trail behind it. At first, people thought it was a UAP on fire, but when the camera zoomed in, it looked more like plasma, almost sun-like in appearance. That's when theories took a sharp turn. People started whispering about artificial suns, secret experiments, and hidden projects. Whatever it was, it didn't look like anything ordinary falling from the sky. Skyfall. Ever seen water pouring straight from the sky like someone turned on a giant tap? This viral clip shows exactly that. A waterfall falling from the clouds, gushing directly into the sea below. There were no planes, no funnels, just a single stream of water shooting down from a hole in the clouds. The shape of it looked almost like a portal had opened in the sky. Some said it was just condensation or pressure release, but the way it flowed looked anything but natural. Trip to Earth. In Oaxaca, Mexico, on the 27th of August, dozens of residents witnessed something bizarre streaking across the night sky. It appeared to be an unidentified object crashing down, and multiple people managed to capture it on video. Many who saw the clips were convinced this was an alien craft falling from above, while others insisted it looked like a meteor. Later, a man drove to the crash site only to find the road completely blocked off by police. Flames lit up the spot where it had landed, adding to the unease. With so many witnesses and such secrecy, doubts grew. Was this really a meteor, or had a UFO just fallen to Earth? Frog rain. Forget hail or rain. This clip showed something far stranger. Frogs were falling from the sky over a small town. People screamed and ran as the ground filled with them. Completely confused and terrified. The footage spread fast, and panic followed. Many viewers were convinced this was another sign the world was nearing its end. Others tried to explain it away, saying extreme weather could have sucked the frogs up and dropped them elsewhere. Maybe that was true, or maybe it wasn't. Because no matter how you explained it, watching frogs rain down from the sky didn't feel normal at all. Portal rings. This strange spectacle was recorded in New Mexico, and people didn't know what to make of it. A bright source of light descended toward a mountain, then two glowing rings shot out sideways. Right after that, these smoky rings blasted upward into the sky, and then a glowing circle opened in the clouds. It kept getting bigger and bigger, shifting from white to rainbow colors, before disappearing completely. People online started calling it a portal, saying an alien ship had opened it using some kind of smoke ring ritual. There was no official explanation, and that just made it feel even more unreal. Winged horror. This footage freaked people out online. Traffic suddenly stopped on a busy road when something huge fell from the sky.
Is that a person?
Oh my god, it's got wings! Hold on!
It was black, winged, and almost humanoid. Messy dark hair, a terrifying face, no arms, just wings. People started saying it was part of a secret human experiment that escaped from a lab. Others went darker and said it was the angel of death itself. No one could explain what they were really looking at. All they knew was that it didn't look like anything that belonged in our world. Cautious descent. If aliens had to take cover here on Earth, mountains would be the ideal place. Thanks to the inaccessible heights, no one would ever know they were here. But guess what? A hiker managed to capture one of their crafts on camera. And it's shocking. The mysterious craft was shining bright lights beneath it on the ground, as if surveying the land for potential risks. And then, it suddenly switched them off before making a landing. The clip looked authentic enough, and I bet skeptics are having a tough time trying to debunk this one. Drone duo. The skies are getting crowded, aren't they? A local recently spotted 2 flying objects descending toward the woods, seemingly preparing to land.
Yep, that's a drone. It's low. Now look at above it comes another drone. Holy crap.
Unlike the other sightings, these had a slightly more conventional look, but still, something about them feels off. Sure, they could just be ordinary drones, but what if they're not? What if these are extraterrestrials carrying out some mysterious mission? That brings us to the big question. If they're not invading, what are they doing here?
Go Bedminster. Go Bedminster.
Lit up. A man had been relaxing on a quiet beach when something unusual caught his eye. A blazing streak slowly fell from the sky toward the ocean.
What is it?
It didn't behave like a meteor or a normal fireball. The line of fire cut through the clouds in a strange, deliberate way. At first, he thought it might be a rocket launch, but its movement didn't match anything he had seen before. As it vanished beneath the waves, he was left staring at the horizon, shaken. Some even claimed it was a piece of the sky falling, a warning for CERN to stop experimenting. Barn encounter. Since last year, UFO sightings had surged unnaturally, and this one stood out. In December 2024, a farm owner reviewed his CCTV footage and was stunned by what he saw. 2 bright, disc-shaped objects hovered in the night sky. Then, one suddenly dropped, appearing to land on his barn. But it didn't stay. The moment it touched down, it bounced off and vanished into the darkness. The bizarre motion left viewers baffled. Many believe these were UFOs, with some speculating the falling flash might have run out of fuel mid-flight, only to recover or disappear into the night for good. Falling mystery. Back in 2022, Jimmy and his family were out fishing off the coast of Sarasota, Florida, when something strange fell from the sky. At first, they thought it was debris, but as they got closer, green ooze started seeping up from the ocean. Smoke rose from the impact point, and when they tried to call the Coast Guard, every communication line went dead. After Jimmy posted the clip online, it blew up instantly. Some claimed it was paint from rocket boosters, but there were no ships or launches nearby. Honestly, should he have even gotten that close? Blue panic. At first glance, it looked like the opening scene of an alien invasion movie. Blue lights fell from the sky, and people immediately started running. The clip was filmed in Zhengzhou, China, and everyone thought something unearthly was happening. Turns out, it was actually a drone show that malfunctioned mid-air. The drones lost formation and started dropping, which caused total panic in the crowd. Thankfully, nobody got hurt, and the situation was handled fast. Still, watching glowing blue lights rain down from the sky was surreal. Even knowing the explanation, it didn't stop the footage from feeling straight up unreal. church descent. This strange video had been floating around online for a while, and it seriously unsettled people. A humanoid figure appeared to descend from the sky and landed right on top of a church roof. It looked like it was holding something, and then it dropped the object. The thing didn't fall. It hovered midair and slowly rose back into the sky. Some said the whole video had to be edited. Others believed it showed an alien leaving behind some kind of probe. The way it moved didn't look natural at all. It really did feel like something that wasn't supposed to be here. Santa crash. Out of everything that could fall out of the sky into your yard, it had to be Santa. A man was quietly reading when his home camera showed a massive red sleigh crashing down right in front of him. There was a reindeer. There was Santa. The whole setup looked straight out of a Christmas movie. Santa got up, looked around, and then took off like he was hiding from something. We all knew Santa wasn't real. So what did that guy actually see? And why did Santa run away like he just messed up big time? That part made it even creepier. Dragon cloud. Okay, look at this and tell me if it looked normal. This appeared near Lazy Mountain, Alaska. Experts said it was just a strange cloud formation, but the shape was way too creepy. It looked like a towering gray figure dropping out of the sky with finger-like trails, almost like a smoke dragon coming down from the clouds. And if you looked close, there was something glowing inside what people started calling its mouth. Some said it was smoke from a spaceship crashing toward Earth after being destroyed. But when troopers went out there, they found no crash site at all. Whatever it was, you won't forget this. Mythical corpse. Last year, a research team deep in the jungle claimed they found something straight out of a fairy tale. On the ground was a tiny humanoid body with transparent wings. They said it wasn't staged. Then they went even further. They claimed they later captured another one alive and brought it back to their lab. Some people laughed it off as a hoax. Others said it proved we weren't the only intelligent beings on Earth. If even part of that story was real, it meant our world was way stranger than we ever imagined. Backyard meteor. Imagine hearing a loud crash and then finding a burning rock in your own backyard. That's what happened to a homeowner in Brazil.
Gente, olha o tanto que eu tô tremendo. Olha isso aqui.
He ran outside and filmed a smoking, glowing stone on the ground. It looked searing hot. The clip went viral fast. Some people said it had to be space debris or a broken piece of a satellite. Others joked that the man just became rich. If it really was a meteor, he might have been holding a piece of space history in his hands.
Véi, eu achava que isso só, sei lá, caía no mar, no...
Either way, it was the kind of luck most people never get. Smoking rock. Here's another guy who got just as lucky. He filmed a deep, burned hole in his backyard. Then he pulled out the object that made it.
Still smoking and
It looked like an ash-white rock, and it was still smoking. People warned him not to touch it, saying it could be dangerous or give him superpowers. Jokes aside, nobody really knew what it was. A lot of viewers told him to sell it or give it to scientists for testing. If that thing came from space, it might be way more valuable than it looked. Charred crater. Last year in Texas, a man came home from vacation and noticed a strange hole in his yard. The ground was burned black and a rock sat right in the middle of it. He called his neighbor, who claimed he'd actually seen a meteor crash there days earlier. When the clip hit the internet, people started asking why meteorites seem to be falling more often lately. Some said Earth's protection was weakening. Others warned the man to stay away from the site, saying it could still be radioactive. Either way, he was lucky the thing fell in his yard and not inside his house. Winged shadow. Home security footage from North Carolina on February 1st shocked a lot of people. The street was quiet, then suddenly a massive shadow darted across the road. It didn't look like a plane, drone, or even a UFO. Locals said it had to be the Mothman. They claimed something huge had been lurking around the neighborhood for weeks. The shadow looked like it had enormous wings. People started saying this might be the first real glimpse of the Mothman itself, and once you saw that shadow, it was hard not to wonder what had just flown over their homes. Angel descent. A hiker captured something unbelievable on camera. Something started descending from the sky, so he pulled out his phone. It looked humanoid, with giant white wings. And yeah, what do we call those? Angels. The figure floated down with its wings fully spread and disappeared behind a mountain range. People panicked when the video went viral. Some said it was a sign of the end times. Others believed it had come down to save someone's life. No one could explain how something like that could exist, let alone land on Earth in broad daylight. Rooftop beast. Locals in India stopped in their tracks when they saw this. They said a creature had come down from the sky and rested on top of a building. It had giant wings, a humanoid body, and something like a pointed horn on its head. Its wings were spread wide, then it flapped them and flew back into the sky. Everyone just stood there stunned. Some thought it was another Mothman-type legend. Others said the whole thing had to be a hoax, but the locals swear they saw it with their own eyes. Guardian dove. Late at night, a car's dashcam recorded something unbelievable. Out of nowhere, a white dove appeared in front of the car. The driver slammed the brakes. Seconds later, a massive truck blasted through the intersection. If the car hadn't stopped, it would have been completely destroyed. The man believed the dove had saved his life. He said it felt like a guardian angel showed up at the exact right moment. The timing was too perfect. Call it coincidence if you want, but surviving something like that changes the way you look at signs from the universe. Falling birds. Multiple videos surfaced showing birds dropping out of the sky near Tampa. A man on a cruise ship filmed them falling straight down over the water. No one knew the exact cause. Some blamed HAARP, saying it messed with weather and ecosystems. Others thought it felt biblical, like something straight out of Revelation. Animals raining from the sky didn't sit right with anyone. People said it had to mean something bad was coming. Whether science or prophecy, watching birds fall like that made the world feel very off. Octo-rain. Even in your wildest dreams, you wouldn't expect this. But in China, tiny octopuses actually fell with the rain. In 2019, a man filmed one stuck on his windshield after a storm. People were shocked. How could an octopus fall from the sky? Turns out, strong winds can suck small sea creatures out of the ocean and carry them inland before dropping them with rain. Still, imagine driving and seeing an octopus on your car. Cute for some, terrifying for others. Harbor lights. Workers at the port of Halifax were on duty when something unreal appeared in the sky. Glowing shapes descended from the clouds. They had flat disc tops with long, funnel-like beams under them. The beams hit the water and made it churn like something heavy was pressing down. The shapes kept morphing, like they were made of light, but still had force. The sight lasted almost 10 minutes before vanishing. Nobody ever explained it. Port authorities even increased safety after, because whatever that was could have torn ships apart. White sphere. Aliens almost felt easier to explain than this. During a hike in the Russian woods, a man found a massive white sphere lying in crushed vegetation. It looked solid, but sounded hollow when tapped. There were no markings on it, no doors, nothing man-made. The plants around it were flattened, like it had fallen from the sky. He couldn't move it, so he just filmed it and posted it online. To this day, nobody knows what it was, and once you saw it, your brain didn't want to accept any normal explanation. Tree devil. An old video resurfaced and sparked new interest in a long-time mystery. A man filmed a strange winged creature sitting on a tree branch. It wasn't just a bird. As the camera got closer, the thing noticed it was being watched. In one smooth move, it spread massive wings and flew off into the sky. Its shape looked nothing like anything normal. People said it had to be the Jersey Devil. Maybe just a story. Or maybe someone finally caught it on camera. NYC panic. A major sighting just surfaced online. 2 witnesses caught mind-blowing footage on their drive home in New York City. The video showed this classic disc-shaped craft hovering above them, lights pulsing in sequence.
You get that? I am. It's like landing. Nobody else sees this? Are we crazy? I have it on video. Are we crazy?
This thing started its descent right in front of them. They kept rolling until it disappeared into the darkness. Local UFO watchers have been combing the area since then, hoping to find any trace of where this craft touched down. The video quality is solid, showing clear details of the craft's structure and movement patterns. This marks another addition to last year's unusual surge of sightings.
What? That's like a UFO.
Sky pillars. A woman vacationing in Oslo recorded something shocking in the middle of the night. Pillars of light were shooting down from the sky like giant spotlights.
You see it anywhere else? So just over there and then over here. I've seen this movie once.
It looked like someone had turned on the heavens. Some said it was ice pillars caused by crystals in the air. Others weren't convinced at all. They thought it looked like alien tech or spaceships doing something above the city. The woman said it felt ominous, like something big was coming.
What do you think? It's gonna be like crystals from snow or crystals from the freeze.
Massive ice ball. This giant ball of ice was found in a Chinese farm and left the farmer a little out of sorts as the farm had a greenhouse setting and the net above the ice ball was ripped. Meaning it probably fell from the sky. I had no idea these massive bombs were falling down the sky, and it just makes me a bit more scared of the sheer force of nature. Vulture rain.
Incredible video is going viral of dozens and dozens of turkey vultures actually falling from the sky, with many drowning, sadly, in the Gulf of Mexico.
Now take a look at this video. This happened right at the start of the year in January. Turkey vultures raining down over the Gulf of Mexico, just off the coast of Islamorada.
Look at this. They all just fell from the sky.
Dozens of the big birds were thrashing in the water, struggling to stay afloat. A fishing crew stumbled upon the bizarre scene and quickly grabbed their gear, using nets to scoop the stranded birds to safety. Experts say it could be due to environmental shifts.
Oh my God! Look, there's another one!
Extreme heat, sudden wind changes, the usual explanations. But some aren't buying it. Netizens are pointing to a more unsettling theory. What if this was a warning sign? Some even believe an underwater alien base might have had something to do with it. Fallen ice. It was an ordinary afternoon in Florida until a thunderous crash shook a quiet neighborhood. When residents ran outside, they found a massive block of ice had torn through a roof, falling straight from the sky. The mystery deepened when people connected it to other unexplained cases. Aviation experts point to frozen runoff from high-flying aircraft.
I went into the house and I said to my husband, I said, I'm not crazy. I've got the proof. This fell out of the sky.
Balls of ice forming, detaching and falling. Still, the pattern led to other ideas about hidden cargo, secret flights, or unreported atmospheric experiments being linked to these icy strikes. The FAA opened an inquiry, and mechanics started working to explain the physics, but the answers are still unknown.
7 inches by 4 inches. The only place it could have come from was up in the sky.
Fallen clouds. A farmer in Indonesia woke up to find his field was dotted with something that looked like clouds. Fluffy, white, and light as air. The man had never seen anything like it. Neither had anyone else. When the video hit the internet, people blamed weather manipulation, saying the government was playing with the sky, whether it was foam, pollution, or something else. It looked eerily out of place. In Yemen, someone captured a surreal sight, what looked like clouds resting on mountain peaks, soft and white, drifting with the wind. It looked so unreal that people thought the earth itself was collapsing. Or that something cosmic was happening. Later, experts said it was just storm foam, whipped up by intense weather. But even knowing that, the scene didn't lose its magic. It really did look like clouds had fallen to the ground. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.